Hello and welcome to Financial Education for the Nation. My name's Warren Shute and I'm here today to give you a bit of an update on the money plan. We're in the midst of the corona crisis. Sorry, I keep reading about the financial crisis. And I just thought I'd give you an update on, hey, how does the money plan fit into the corona crisis? Should I be doing things differently? And stay tuned. I'm going to go through the 5 steps and what you could be doing right now if you're self-isolating, you're at home, we're in lockdown. Is there anything you can be doing? I'm doing this beginning of April. So the weather, the weekend's nice and perfect opportunity for you to get working on your own financial success. Okay, so for those of you who know, the money plan has 5 steps. Step 1 is what's your outcome. Step 2 is get financially well organized. Step 3 is secure your financial foundation. Step 4 is repaying your debt. And step 5 is securing your future. I'm going to cover each 5 steps very briefly, just so you have some kind of information or implications of how things are changing. So, step 1, what's your outcome? This is the most perfect time for you to do this. For most of us, I admit it's not all of us. Some of us key workers, some of those amazing care workers and NHS staff who are looking after us, are probably busier than ever, and they're always busy. They have less time on their hands, and I understand that. But for a lot of us who, especially if you've been furloughed, you're working from home and you've got more time on your side, things seem to be slower. Companies not looking to do business, they're looking to preserve business. We have time. And what time allows us to do is think. So if we're going to think, let's think on purpose and intentionally. Not remember, but let's think about the future and how do we want to live the rest of our life. Now, I think this period is going to allow a lot of us to reflect and think differently about how we want to live the rest of our life. It's a fantastic opportunity for you to do the same right now. So if I ask you the question, how do you want to live the rest of your life? What comes to mind? I want you to take a pen and pad and start writing. Start writing a load of things down. So what will happen to start off with is you'll get your conscious responses, okay? And then as you keep writing, and make sure you keep writing, you'll get your unconscious responses. So things that are more meaningful to you, a bit deeper inside you. So how do you want to live the rest of your life? What does this mean? And then when you've done that, when you start looking through it and say, okay, well, if this is what I really want to live the rest of my life, let's maybe share it with someone who might be impacted, i.e. your significant other, your partner, your husband, your wife, and then your children. Hey, this is the kind of thing I'm thinking of. And then maybe set some goals, some outcomes. So we started 10 and 5 years. 10 and 5 years are more visionary. So we set 10 and 5 year goals, a bit more visionary. They're out there to say, okay, that's the kind of thing, the direction I'm working. But come on, 16 months, 5 years is quite a long time for most people. So then we break it down to 3 years and 1 year. 3 years and 1 year are a little more tangible. 36 months, bang, goes in a heartbeat. If you've got kids, you'll appreciate actually how fast it goes. So set them more specific to your circumstances. And 1 year goal, 12-month goals, hey, this time will pass. Let's make the most of it. Let's make sure we can do what we can over the next 12 months to make it really worthwhile. But even 12 months can seem a long time when you're stuck at home in isolation. Even when you go back to work, things just seem to take a long time to get going. So then we set check-ins. We set check-ins every quarter. Quarterly check-ins, I used to call them quarterly rocks, but my publisher wouldn't allow me because of a book that was written. But quarterly check-ins, quarterly rocks. Every 90 days, are you on target? So you break your 12-month goal down in quarterly check-ins, and you've got that some kind of framework, say, okay, right, next 9 days, this is what I want to get done. It might be next 9 days, I want to get my website up. Next 90 days, I want to set myself up a business. Next 90 days, I want to find a business. I want to learn about business. It's a remarkable number of requests I've had recently about doing coaching with people about, hey, look, I want to create independence. Can you help me? How do I do it? And first place I go to is, do you have your own business? Because that's the place you'll earn the most money in your time, through your own business. Not through property, not through the stock market, but in your own business. And getting that running smoothly. So learn about business. It might be, I need to learn about business. I don't know anything about it. And don't dismiss network marketing type businesses. There are some out there that are an absolute scam, and don't get involved. I don't know which ones they are, unfortunately, but there are some out there who are okay. They're pretty good. And we have some clients who earn thousands of pounds a month from these network marketing businesses. And they enjoy it. So, don't dismiss them. when you're setting your goals, I use a couple of acronyms. Peak. I want you to set peak goals. So when you're setting your goals over the next 10, 5, 3 and 1 year, set peak goals. So personal goals, economic goals, adventure and contribution. So personal goals are to do with you. Could be your weight loss. It could be holidays, that kind of thing. It could be something that's just important to you that you want to make sure you're learning a new skill, that kind of thing. I don't want to tell you what they are because I want to influence your thought process, but personal goals to you. Economic goals, so financial. So you might want to earn a certain amount of money. You want to pay a certain amount of debt down. You might want to learn about some kind of investing. Okay. You might want to learn about business. You want to put that into the economic goals. Adventure. I was very, very guilty for a long time of just being focused on drive, and not actually enjoying life as it is, and allowed life just to slip past me. And then when I started introducing the peak system into my goals, it really transformed things and had a lot more fun, if I'm honest. So adventure is really something on your bucket list, something that you really want to do. And if you've got a bucket list, start writing things down that you really want to do in your life. Maybe choose 1 or 2 of those things every year and put it on your goal list so you can achieve them. Your actuarial age of death is around 88. Okay. So take your age away from 88. So let me use some simple maths. Let's say you're 58. Okay. 88 left 58. You've got 30. You've got 30 Christmases, 30 special holidays left. And I tell you guys, as you accelerate towards the end date, it's less fun. It's gotta be. I've not got there yet, but come on, you're less active. You're less mobile, your belief systems can come in a little bit, so you're less open to new ideas. So it's really important to you have the balance in your life, okay? And this is why I call it peak balance, that you have some kind of adventure in your life and you enjoy these things. So tick them off your bucket list as you go along. And the last thing is contribution. A massive believer in paying forward, giving back, and helping other people. And on a previous podcast, I said in this time of uncertainty right now, why don't you write down 30 people you want to connect with over the next 30 days and just give them a call and say, hey, how are you? Just want to touch base with you, make sure you're okay. Because there are some people out there really struggling, and that could be your contribution goal. My contribution goal this year is to become eco zero, so carbon neutral. So, we're working very, very hard on making sure that, our emissions are being offset and where things go. How we go, I don't know. It's kind of taken a bit of a detour of late because of the coronavirus. But we'll stay on it. We'll stay on that and see how we get on. And don't beat yourself up if you don't ever achieve all of your goals. Okay. Your goals are taking you closer towards where you want to be, or growing you as an individual if you're already at where you want to be. So it's not always important you achieve all of your goals. I generally achieve about 80% of my goals, 80 to 85% of my goals. So quite often I won't achieve some of my goals, and that's okay, but I'll reset them the year after. So once you've done your 10, 5, 3 and 1 year goals, then breaking into quarterly check-ins, and then daily get a journal book. Get a book. I use one of these little black books, and every day I write in it. So write your actions, review 3 to 5 actions you want to do this day. And right now it's so important. You review your previous day actions, write a few things you're grateful for, and then you journal. So nothing's changed from the money plan. And if you haven't read the money plan, you can get chapter 1 for free on my website, warrenshute.com. Just download it. And if you like what you read, then go and buy the book. It's very inexpensive what it's going to give you. That's step 1. Step 2 of the money plan is get financially well organized. And this is the bit that the journalists have seemed to have really loved, and people really get when I speak to them. They absolutely love this. We do these presentations for companies, and the employee engagement is fantastic. I go through a number of things. First thing is the bank account system. It's something you can do at home right now. The bank account system, you have your bills account, you have your spending account. Get yourself financially well organized. Your bills come out of one, or your regular bills come out of one account. Your spending comes out the other account. You ask yourself about the bills account. You go through each item. Do I need this? Do I want this? Can I get a similar experience for less? Right now, that's essential. You should really be cutting all fat out of your budget, really leaning it up, because we could be going through a prolonged lean period. And to be prepared for that, cash is king. If you don't really need it, cut it out. It's not worth it. I have some ratios that I share with people, and I say 50% of your income, your net income that comes into your bank, no more than 50% should go on your household bills. Okay, so 50% on your household bills. I then look at 30% as being your spending money, your WAM, so money you spend in your bills account, in your WAM account. Now, at the moment, I don't know about you, but I'm hardly spending any money. I'm in isolation. I've got my grocery shopping. That's about it. So that money can start building up, and you could then possibly put that towards a holiday or something later in the year. But 30% towards that, and then you want to go 20% towards overpaying on your debts or investing if you've repaid your debts. Now, if you've got unsecured debt, what I would do is organize them in the next session on Snowball. I'll come on to that in a second. But I would build up cash right now. Make sure you build up cash. I think cash is going to be king if we go through a difficult period. I wouldn't actively start repaying all my debts just right now unless I had lots of cash on deposit. So I want you to have at least 3 months of your expenditure on deposit for times like this. If you don't have that, then let's start building up some cash before we start accelerating our debt program. Find it hard that I'm saying that because I'm a massive believer in repaying debt, but I think cash is going to be more important in this total time. If you've got kids, we do a pocket money system, £2 for each year their age. Get them working for it. Get them enjoying stuff. Get them earning it. Don't just give them money for nothing. You're not teaching them about money. You're not doing any favors whatsoever. And then update Ali. Ali is your assets, liabilities, income, and expenditure. Update your sheet. You can download a spreadsheet off of warrenshute.com. Put all your house value in there, all your investments value, everything else. Put your liabilities in there, your income in there, and all your expenditure in there. So you are financially well organized. I think clarity is power. It makes such a big difference. Then we come on to step 3, which is financial foundations. Now, your financial foundations is so important at times like this. And this is why we say, number one, your financial foundations is emergency cash. I've been going on about this for the last 25 years as a financial planner, and for the last 2 years or so as an author. Emergency cash is essential. Now, I've always said £1,000 emergency cash, repay your unsecured debts, then build your emergency cash from 3 to 12 months, depending on your risk profile. Now, wouldn't that be nice right now? If you knew, and if you already have, you're probably feeling very happy, you've got between 3 and 12 months of your expenditure on deposit. Because when times are good, we don't appreciate that, having that. But when times get tough like they are now, you're going to really want it. So what I want you to do is make sure you save up as much cash as you can and target 3 months of your expenditure up to about 6 months of your expenditure. It should be about enough. And once you've done that, we can then take any excess money and pay down any unsecured debt. But I think cash is going to be king at this moment in time. Emergency cash. Second thing is wills. Get yourself a will. Organize your will. Right now, you've got time. Your partner's around. Let's discuss your terms. Let's get it done. It's not morbid. It's not looking on the negative side. It's just being financially savvy and being smart and grown up, guys. Get your will. The problem you will have about doing a will right now is getting it signed. You need 2 independent people, independent of the will, to assertion, to do the witnessing of the signing. And if you're in isolation, lockdown, you're not going to have that. So, but at least you can get to that stage, and then once lockdown's over, get 2 people in the room, sign it, pass it over, get it done, and you're away. If you need help with that, get in touch with me. Lasting power of attorneys. These can be done now and really should be done now. Lasting power of attorney is when you give your attorney permission to make decisions on your own behalf. You can go to the Office Public Guardian's website, download the forms, fill them in, send them off, get them witnessed, and pay 80 something pounds or something, 82 pounds I think it is per power of attorney to get them sorted. Go to warrenshute.com. There's a form on there to help you download that as well. And then look at all your insurances. Have you got enough life insurance? Do you have income protection? Do you want medical critical illness? Now, in the book, I talk about making sure your unsecured debt is repaid before you start taking out critical illness and medical insurance, because I don't think they are essential insurances, but they are nice to have. And right now might be a good opportunity for you to review your travel insurance as well, especially if you've had a holiday cancelled, whether they're going to pay out or not. So that's step 3, financial foundations. And then step 4 is the snowball. So the snowball is the process that we use to repay down unsecured debt. We meet so many people with so many credit cards, loans, overdrafts, car finance, everything else, and it just scares the life out of me. Guys, debt is not good. Debt is bad. When we have a government borrowing billions, it's hard to look to them for any kind of guidance and support, but it doesn't have to be right for you. You need to pay down your unsecured debt as fast as you can. Now, we're in a period right now with the corona crisis that I believe cash trumps paying down your debt, because I think cash gives you options, but you can start building up your cash so that you can pay down your debt once it's all over. But first, let's get organized. List all your credit cards, the normal rates of interest, and also make a note of the special rates of interest you're being charged, because I hope most of your credit card companies will be either waiving fees or reducing interest rates, that kind of thing at this moment in time. Special point to note is look at your overdrafts. How much is your overdraft charging you? Overdraft rates went from a fixed fee to a percentage in April. Far as I'm aware, they haven't waived that yet. They might have done, but they were going to skyrocket to 35-40%, which is astronomical and robbery, if I'm honest. But get organized, fill in the Snowball spreadsheet, go to warrenshute.com, download it. You have time. It's a perfect opportunity for you to do this. And then there's the last step, step 5, which is building wealth. Now, Snowball, in the book, Snowball is the amount of money that's left over after you've allocated your bills and everything. So you got your 50%, your 30%. It's the 20%. That's your Snowball that we talk about. And my priority is building up some emergency cash, paying down your unsecured debt, and then investing. But you might have secured debt as well. So what we say to people is allocate it between the two. So pretty much, broadly speaking, split 50-50. Half on your secured debt, i.e. mortgage overpayment, and half in investing. Now, I only want you to do this if you already have your emergency cash built up. If you have your emergency cash 3 to 6 months, perfect. Let's go. Let's overpay on the mortgage. Interest rates are unprecedentedly low. You're going to be paying more capital down than ever. It's going to have a massive effect. Invest. Investing right now is the best opportunity ever because prices are so cheap. They won't be like this forever. Things will recover. And when they've recovered, you'll look back and think, I'm so glad I did that. So let's make sure we allocate our 20%, our Snowball, 50-50. 50% of mortgage payment, 50% towards our retirement planning. The best place for that really is your pension. It's going to save you the most tax. It really is going to be a good idea. But make sure you've got everything else in order, as in your emergency cash, before you start doing this, and also your unsecured debts repaid. Wow. Okay. That was a whistle-stop tour of the money plan. Okay. There's 5 steps. Everything is first a thought. Okay. We are physical beings run by our emotions. Our emotions are probably going all over the place at the moment. It's important you have a guiding light. What do you stand for? What are you aiming towards? What do you want to grow to achieve? Okay. If you are worrying, think of other people. You can't worry about yourself when you're thinking of other people. There will be other people out there who've got a tough time, having a tougher time than you are. You know, send some praise and some love for our NHS staff and all the services, if I'm honest. Everyone who's stepping up to really make a big difference to support us is so important. But having that vision, that compelling vision out there to say, how do I want to live the rest of my life? What is it that's important to me? What am I aiming towards? And then writing some things down will help you get through this, because this time will pass. Okay. And it's important you have some kind of vision about where you're going, what you're about. Having more time with your family, has it been fun? I've really enjoyed it. It's really made me reevaluate about how I do business, because I've enjoyed spending more time with my family and getting to know my kids even more, and what's going on. Then, you know, make sure that you get financially well organized. Use this time really well to go through your numbers. Make sure you've got some kind of budget. I don't like budgets, but it's good to have a cash flow of where your numbers are. Go to warrenshute.com. There's loads of downloads on there. You can download, start filling those figures in so you're really well organized. Set your banking up so your bills go into one account. Go through each individual payment. Do I need this? Do I want this? Can I get a similar experience for less? Start cutting the fat out massively now, and make sure that those bill payments do not exceed 50% of the money that comes in. If the money coming in has gone down, the money going out needs to go down. Got to cut it down. Make sure that you've got 30% going into a separate account, which is your WAM, which is your spending money account, and use that money at the moment to build up, because then, I don't know about you, but you're probably not spending a great deal right now. Okay. And then 20% of the money can go towards your Snowball, and your Snowball in normal times would be to repay to get £1,000 funds as savings and then repay your unsecured debt. But really what I want you to do right now is save, because I think cash will be king. Make sure you are got cash behind you. Do your ALI sheet, assets, liabilities, income, expenditure. Keep that up to date. Spreadsheet, put different dates on it, update it every sort of 6 months or year so you know what's going on. And discuss these things with your partner. Make sure they know what's going on. Step 3, emergency foundations, emergency cash, saving this cash, save it up. Let's build up 3 to 6 months of your expenditure at least. So you've got that tucked away. Something like National Savings Investment Premium Bonds. I'm not going to take any flack from that. I don't mind. They're guaranteed by the Treasury. They're low risk. If banks start defaulting, you'll be pleased you've got them. You can get the ball running, get that sorted out as soon as you can. LPAs, you can get those done now. Review your life insurance needs. Look at your travel insurance. Look at your other insurances. Make sure everything's up and scratched and ready. Do the Snowball spreadsheet. List, got any unsecured debts? List all your unsecured debts. Credit cards, loans, car finance, overdraft, list them all down. List the annual percentage rate you're being charged. List the minimum payment. List the additional payment that you can make on the spreadsheet, or do you a chart on when these debts can be repaid. Then come up with creative ideas. How can you earn more money to repay these? Look around the house. The money plan book goes into ideas of how can you generate additional sources of income to repay these debts down. Talk about eBay and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. Once you've done your Snowball, you then look at investing for the future. And we allocate that 20%, 50-50. 50% onto your mortgage, 50% into your retirement account. Look at your retirement account asset allocation. As a general rule of thumb, 100 minus your age, hold that in equities. But you then got to do a risk tolerance and say, well, okay, the portfolio will fall about 50% of the equity exposure. So have a look at that. Does that fit right for you? Make sure you're in low-cost index funds, passive funds, and invest globally. Don't just invest in the UK. There's other videos on this and how to do it. It's very important you get that bit right. So there you go. There's the 5 steps of the money plan. If you like it, go and get the book and have a read. Everything applies today as it did the day it was written. It's there. It's for you. Okay. My name's Warren Shute. This is Financial Education Foundation. I appreciate you listening. Please leave a comment below. Follow me on social media. And until next time, take care. Be safe. Stay at home.